Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Sky Blue Fans TV. My name's Mark Smith. Tonight, I've been joined by Ken, as you can see, and I think hopefully Vicky will be coming on later on. We're talking tonight about reviewing the 0-0 draw against Middlesbrough in the first leg of the playoffs. And when part two of the show, we'll be talking about the second leg, talking about what sort of team we're looking to put out, tactically, how we're going to look to win the game. So all of that and more to come. Before that, we've got a bit of an announcement to make regarding new sponsorship. So I'm going to hand you over to Ken. Ken.
Good evening, all. Welcome. Hope the nerves are not jangling yet. There will be come to in 24 hours' time, I think. We've got some good news. We've got a new sponsor on board with Sky Blue Fans TV. Wayne and his team from Central Health and Safety Solutions has come on board as a sponsorship partner. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them at the moment. Central Health and Safety Solutions are specialists in providing health and safety consultancy, health and safety training, event medical and cover, and event fire and rescue service. They're based in Nuneaton on the Warwickshire West Midlands border. They were established in 1999. They provide support and cover to business and events throughout Coventry, Leicestershire, Birmingham and surrounding areas. They've got a friendly, experienced team, including health and safety consultants, emergency service personnel and trainers who are currently working on the front line with emergency services, all of which are experts in their field. So welcome on board, Wayne. You'll see their logos regularly on our live streams and all our live programmes for the next 12 months or so. So hopefully we'll have a nice relationship going forward, and I hope to meet you soon, Wayne.
Yeah, it's great news, and thank you, Wayne, for your very kind help, and we really appreciate it. Just I was going to push a new sponsor advert as well, just to confirm as well. Just give me 1 second. Thanks once again to Wayne at Central Health and Safety Solutions for sponsoring us. It's much appreciated. Okay, let's turn our attentions now to the playoffs. First leg against Middlesbrough, a 0-0 draw. Probably not the result we wanted, but before we go on to the game, Mark Robins named an unchanged 11 for this game. But the only was Tyler Walker's on the bench. I think just dropped in. Ken, what was your thoughts on the team going into the game? I mean, how was you feeling? What was the atmosphere like? That must be. I mean, me personally, I was very nervous. How was you feeling ahead of the game?
It was good. Great atmosphere is great, and obviously it was fantastic to see the ground full and plenty of noise coming from the home fans and the away fans. To be fair, they made themselves heard, but it was brilliant to see. It's a brilliant sight when you see that ground full, and it does make a lot of noise. And I'm sure that goes through to the players as well. They were well aware of probably how important that game was, and maybe that was one of them. I don't know whether that's one of the reasons. It was a bit of a stalemate on the end, weren't it? But it's only half time, as we say. It's a long way to go. So, but yeah, I was quite happy with the crowd. The crowd was brilliant, and it was a really exciting day. And although some went away a little bit disappointed, I wasn't too disappointed. As I say, it's only half time, so no goals, but plenty to play for, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at the game itself. So pretty cagey start. I guess it was a sort of start where neither team wants to give much away, not much action. But I think you feel like looking at the game, Middlesbrough probably had the better chances. But I mean, obviously with the chance for Cameron Archer, which Ben Wilson makes a great save.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks all but in for me. But Ben Wilson, to be fair, came off his line quick, good save, and he earned a bit of luck, came off the woodwork, and we managed to clear it. So that was a bit of a tough one, wasn't it? A bit of a tough moment for us.
It was very tough. They did have the better chances, to be fair. There wasn't many chances in the game. As we know, we didn't really have a shot on target. They had a couple. It was a game for the defences, weren't it? I think at the end of the day, both defences and both top scorers in the league, bizarrely, never had a sniff. You know, Big Vic never had a sniff, and nor did Akpon. So I mean, neither of them had a chat apart from half of sort of chance he had with a sort of a header, didn't he? But overall, I don't think it was a game, very cagey game. I think one guy, if somebody would have scored early, it would have probably opened up a little bit more. But nobody sort of wanted to make a commitment, I don't think. And they go away happy with the draw, obviously. But we go away and we're still in it. You know, we're not losing the game. If you can't win the game, I've always said if you can't win it, don't lose it. And it was an important game not to lose. You know, so we go up there full of confidence. And but yeah, I'm still pretty confident we can go ahead and get through to Wembley.
Was you a bit concerned by the fact that we had no shots on target in the 90 minutes? A lot of shots on target.
I was. I didn't realise. I didn't realise till afterwards, and then I thought, no, we didn't. To be fair, and normally at home, that's not like us at home. To be honest, is it? Normally at home, we at least have a couple of shots on target. But as I say, it's just one of them games where they defended very well, and they got a bit lucky with a couple of the tackles, and just nearly went through to Vic a couple of times, and nearly broke through, but they just got a last-ditch tackle in, or you know, something happened to blockers, and it was just one of them games where it didn't go for us, and it happens sometimes, you know. But just because we didn't have a shot on target, it didn't say we didn't play well. I thought we defended brilliantly. I thought Callum Dorr was outstanding, Hamer was outstanding. Some of the balls he played. So it's not all about shots on target. Yeah, we didn't have a shot on target, and perhaps should have. It's disappointing not to go into the second leg with a couple of goals, or at least one goal. But at the end of the day, we haven't conceded either, and we've played them. You know, that we've played them a couple of times. They haven't beat us yet, have they? You know, we grew up there 1-1. We beat them early in the season 1-0, but they haven't beat us. So we should go up there full of confidence, mate. I think, you know.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's my personal opinion. I think Boro are slightly in the ascendancy going ahead to leg 2. They'll feel. I think you probably would rather be in Boro's shoes than our shoes, but you know, we have our away record has improved, and I think that's one sort of positive we can take out of. I thought the game a couple of Mondays ago in the league against Middlesbrough, I thought we asserted ourselves really well in that game. We did, and we remember in the first half. First half
we scored and we were on top. It wasn't until we sort of clocked off a little bit just before half time when we let them score. We let them back in the game. So there's no reason. I'm sure Robbins will be saying that to the team. There's no reason why we can't go back up there and do that again. But this time, be a bit more clued up, you know, to and not concede a goal like we did. Let them back in the game. So yeah, I'm pretty confident we can turn that around and we can go up there and score. Because at the end of the day, the pressure's going to be on them. They're going to be at home. They've got to go forward. They've got to attack probably a little bit more than they did at our place on Sunday. So the big gaps appearing, and that falls into our hands. You know, we're great, as you know, we're a great counter-attacking team, and I think we play better, you know, on the counter, especially away from home, and we'll put pressure on them, definitely.
Yeah, I think so. Going back to the Thursday, I just thought sort of game. I personally would like to have got a 2-goal lead. I think
yes,
we had 2-goal.
We were all hoping. Yeah,
it would have given us, you know, a massive shot in the arm, so to speak. Didn't work out that way. Although I'm kind of a believer that even if we were 1 goal or 2 up, then we could fall into the trap of then sitting back and then defending, and then we could then go into play ourselves in trouble. I guess with 0-0, you know, it's anyone's game. there's 90 minutes of football to be played, or 120 minutes of football to be played, even. So anything can happen. So, and that's what makes it more intriguing for me.
Yeah, and I think that's what Robbins will do. He'll tell the players, go up there and look, we've got nothing to lose. Go up there and give it your best shot. At the end of the day, we've got nothing to lose whatsoever. We can go there. It's a one-off game. And at the end of the day, the winner takes it all on Wednesday. It will be decided on the night. Whether it goes to extra time and penalties, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can secure a win before then. But if it does, it does. We'll have to be prepared for it. And it's going to be a long night for us, those that are travelling up.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to a few comments from our esteemed audience. Keep the comments coming in, and thank you for your comments. Glenn Watkin, even Glenn, are Boro doing Roar to Wembley shirts as they have already won the tie, apparently. Well, I remember
Notts County made that
Notts
mistake.
County, yeah. We'll talk more about that. Good one here from Skype, who Sam's asking, do the new sponsors the offences? Mark will love them if they do. But unfortunately, they don't. And believe me, if I could find a fence company that could sponsor me, I'll be very gladly picking them up. So yeah. Right. Another question here from. Now this was interesting. Glenn was asking about Casey Palmer. So you probably saw on social media today, Casey Palmer on the training field, which is very encouraging. Any possibility he could feature? You think on the bench?
I've got
it's a bit too late for him.
No, I've got a funny feeling he might be on the bench. I really do. I heard on Saturday off people from within the club that he was very, very close to being fit. And now we've got pictures of him in training and stuff. I've got a funny feeling he may be on the bench in an emergency situation. They might use him. And I think it's great if we can. I'll give a bit of a boost, and even if we get 20 minutes out of him, bring him on the last 20 minutes or whatever, depending on how the game's going. Obviously,
yeah,
it's a good substitute to fall back on, isn't it? If we need it.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't played for a long time, so it's interesting to see what the state of his fitness is.
Mm-hmm.
He may make the bench, but obviously we'll have to wait and see on that. It'd be interesting to see. The other interesting thing from the game on Sunday was Gus Hamer obviously taking a knock, and a little bit of speculation about his fitness. I mean, do you expect him to feature on tomorrow night?
I do. I think Hamer will be okay from what I'm hearing. I mean, hopefully it's not too serious. So I think Hamer will want to play in that game, so he'll pull out all the stops to get fit for that game. And I expect Hamer to play. Yes. I also expect a couple of more changes, which we can probably go into in a minute. But yeah, I expect Hamer to play.
Yeah. Question here from your average Cov fan: are Boro as good as their fans may make it out to be? He thought they were very negative and time wasted a lot, plus got away with tactical fouls, and felt the referee wasn't very good. What was your thoughts on Bobby Madley?
Well, they did, but they're like everybody. A lot of teams did that, didn't they? I mean, I think there's a couple of times. I think the referee was didn't want to get involved in any sort of controversy. He's a Premiership referee, wasn't he, Bobby Madley? And he a couple of times he pulled us up for foul very quickly. He didn't want to sort of let play go. He want any little foul or people falling to the floor, he blew up for. So he was one that didn't really let the game flow that much. He tended to give sort of every foul that was possibly available to give. He gave. So it wasn't the referee that let the game flow, to be fair. But we've had enough of it. It wasn't the worst referee we've had this season, put it that way. But it wasn't great, but he's certainly not the worst.
No. Although Martin Garden just felt that he ruined our flow every time we had a good run on the ball. He blew the whistle.
Yeah.
There's contrast opinions there. Skyby Sam makes a comment about the whole 0 shots on target, a bit of a myth. We have plenty of opportunities, but just didn't pick the right option. They got a block, or we lost possession. I have to say, I thought Middlesbrough defensively, I thought Paddy McNair was outstanding for them at the back. Gyökeres really didn't have a kick, really, he didn't have a sniff in anything in the game, did he?
He didn't.
Dealt with his threat quite well.
Yeah, they done their homework on him, obviously. And this is where we miss a type of player like O'Hare, isn't it? If O'Hare was playing, he'd take a lot of the attention away from Big Vic. and gaps would open up and more chances would be created. So players like O'Hare and Casey Palmer for that one, them not playing is a big miss for us, because that sort of game was crying out for like Callum O'Hare, money, someone to unlock the defence and score that vital or create that vital chance for us to get that game, open up, and we've missed him, but we just got to get on with it and do what we have to do. We've got a bare squad as it is, as you know. We're a very small squad compared with Middlesbrough. Their budget's a lot higher than us. We were not expected to be where we are. It's a bonus for us all. So let's just take the opportunity if we can with both hands, and I'm sure we will. I'm sure that's what Robbins will be saying. Let's just go out there and give it our all tomorrow night and see what happens. What will be, won't it?
What was your thoughts of Middlesbrough overall on that first day? Did you feel they're a team that we could beat, or did you feel they're a team that we could struggle against tomorrow night?
Definitely a team we can beat, because I've seen them twice now in the last couple of weeks. I went up last Monday when we played them in the league game, and when we say we coped well with them first half, we let them back in the second half. They've got some great players. Don't get me wrong; they've got some fantastic players. But so have we. I think we play to our capabilities on the day, and we were matched for anyone. They're a good side, but they're certainly beatable. They're not the best side in the league. I think Burnley are obviously better than them, but they are a good side. Michael Carrick's got a good tune out of them, and they've got some good players. But we've got some good defenders, and we've got some good players as well in our team. So it'll be an interesting contrast, and I think you'll see a completely different game on Wednesday night. It will be open. They've got to come out and go for a goal. They're at home. The onus is on them to attack, and there'll be gaps appearing, and hopefully we can pick them off and exploit them gaps.
I think my theme with Middlesbrough is they're a very good passing side. I think in the division, they're probably one of the best passing sides of the division in terms of passing and movement. If you look at the game on Sunday, Isaiah Jones had a goal disallowed, which was quite tight. But little moments like that, the goal, the save that Wilson makes from Archer, again, a little bit good movement, good pass, and he's through on goal. And there's moments like that I feel tomorrow we have to be really on our different. I was looking at connection. Luton and Middlesbrough pose different problems. I feel Luton are more physical side, but probably a bit more. They play a bit more on the floor under Rob Edwards, whereas Middlesbrough are probably one of the best sort of passing sides in the league. So my concern tomorrow is how do we cope with, they'll just pass to death, and we've got to know when to press or when not to press. I think that's the thing that I'm slightly concerned about. I guess for tomorrow's game.
Yeah, we have, and that's why I think Robbins will make a couple of tactical changes. It's a different game, and I think we'll find. I personally think he's going to play one up front tomorrow. I think Big Vic will be on his own up front, and he'll bring in an extra midfielder. So, I think possibly change Eccles as well. I think he'll start with Ben Sheaf and Jamie Allen in midfield with Eccles and Godden missing out. That's personally what I think he'll do. That'll give us that extra body in midfield, and that suits us away from home. And hopefully that will stem their possession a little bit, because they do have a lot of possession, and we need to stop that, because they're a very dangerous team when they got possession, as we know. So they probably did have a little bit too much possession in that first game, and Robbins will know that, and he'll make a couple of tweaks to put a stop to that, I think, in the second game.
Yeah, I think I would tend to agree. I would change tactics. I would go 3-5-1-1 for this game. I would drop Godden as well. I would play. I'd like to see Ben Sheaf start tomorrow. I'd like to see Jamie Allen start tomorrow. I'd have Allen in the 10 position. Gyökeres on his own. I'd have 3 midfield: Kelly, Sheaf, and Hamer. And then I'd actually go with Bidwell. I think Bidwell did okay along the left side. Defensively, he's a better player, and I think he will. I think he's a better player to mark against Isaiah Jones. I think Isaiah Jones he's very fast. He's a danger. and obviously got Ryan Giles. So I would go Norton Cuffy. I think defensively he's a better option than the Dabo, in my opinion. And then I'd obviously go with the usual three at the back of Fads, Doyle, and McNally, and obviously Wilson in goal. So that'd be my team for tomorrow. I feel we've got to try and snuff them out, keep them frustrated, keep them quiet. Boro, Middlesbrough will probably be cock a hoop at the fact that they've got a draw against us, and they're going to the second leg 0-0, and they probably think they're in a very strong position. But history tells us with the Sky Blues and playoff competitions that doesn't always mean that the home side is Notts County.
No, and it reminds me a little bit, going back to that Notts County game at home, when we drew 1-1, we got a bit of a dodgy penalty near the end, didn't we? And we sort of scraped a 1-1 draw, and we thought, is that our chance blown? We've got to go to Notts County and win now. And we blew them away second half. I know it's a completely different team, Notts County, different players and a different scenario, but it's the same sort of basis of the situation, isn't it? It's a two-legged game, and just because you draw at home, it doesn't mean to say you can't go away and win. It's a game. It's only half time, so I'm pretty confident we can turn this round on Wednesday night, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. And we've got nothing to lose whatsoever. So just give it our best shot, and that's what we can do.
Exactly, yeah. I got some more comments from our audience. Sky with Sam. Last team we played three times in a row was Ipswich in the League One season. Yes, I do remember actually. I think it may have been the promotion season or the season before. I think it might be the season before the promotion season. We drew the FA Cup tie, drew the league game, and won the replay at Portland Road. So there isn't any reason why we can't do the same tomorrow. Absolutely, I think it's I like the positivity there. Paul Hughes, lack of pace seems to be a problem in the gap in the first half between the very deep midfield and the front two. I mean, one thing I did notice actually from the game, our game, is do you feel we were too direct? Because I felt like the tactics was play it long to Gyökeres. Gyökeres, unfortunately, wasn't winning the ball. They were winning the ball more times than not. And then we're on the back foot. I mean, especially the first half. You look at the first half, Middlesbrough probably had a spell of about at least 15, 20 minutes where they were dominant. And, fortunately, we did defend well, in fairness, and created Ben Wilson as well. But that's probably something we have to look at. Is that something Robbins might need to address in terms of tactics?
Yeah, I think
how
so.
Do bring your Christian game?
Yeah, it's unusual for us to play long ball as much as we did on Sunday. We don't tend to do that at home, especially, and that's the problem you got when you've got Godden up front as well. They tend to go and hoof the ball a bit longer and try and get a flick on and stuff for Godden. But when we've just got the one up front, it's a lot more on the floor, nice football sort of thing. So, I was surprised the amount of times it was in the air, to be fair. And I said, as you say, Big Vic weren't winning anything at all, was he? So
no.
It wasn't working playing that way at all. We needed to keep it on the floor a little bit more. And I'm sure Robbins and ADV Vash will be going through the video of the game and telling them where they went wrong there, where they should have played it on the floor and rather than hoof it up top where we were getting no joy at all because their defenders were on top form. So, it's a very cagey game, and I think, Robbins will have his tactics ready, and I'm sure he'll make a couple of tweaks. And I'm sure we weren't a million miles away, and if we play our normal game like we do away from home, which I expect them to on Wednesday, with just the one up front, and then we can bring Godden on later in the game, depending on how the game's going. We need an extra body up front. Hopefully, we won't need that, but we may need that later on. I think you'll find a lot more, football being played on the floor, and it'll be a lot more open. I think on Wednesday, it should be a lot more exciting as well. Hopefully, for everybody who can't get a ticket and watching at home. So,
yeah. Got some more comments here. We'll live and die in these towns. I think tomorrow night Middlesbrough will try and press us high, and they'll get caught out in doing so. So I think we're able to capitalise on that and use it to our advantage. Yeah, possible.
Yeah, we're very good at that.
Yeah, but equally they could do the same to us. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so you might see a few goals tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So yes, hold on tight.
Yeah.
People watch at home.
Glenn made the comment about Norton Cuffy causing Giles knowing the problems. I thought he did okay, Norton Cuffy. I think he's been one of our best players actually last few games. I think he's good going forward. Defensively, I think he's sound. I mean, he quite been impressive, Norton Cuffy last few games.
I thought. Yeah, he's improved. He's very raw, isn't he? He's only a young lad, but he's certainly improved in the last few games. You know, he's got a lot more of the ball. He's more attack-minded. He takes players on and gets into the box. So he's improved in every game he's played. Really, he's got better every game he's played for us. You know, he come in and he was a bit. He gave the ball a lot away when he first started with some of his passing, but he's improved a hell of a lot. I think obviously a lot of work on the training ground, and Robinson Vivac has got the best out of him, and I think he's doing really well. He did okay on Sunday, and he's a threat. He's a threat. You know, he's a threat to Middlesbrough. So I expect him to be in the side on Wednesday, and hopefully he'll create a few chances for him.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, but keep your comments coming. We'll continue to chat about tomorrow night's game at Riverside Stadium. So, we'll have a short break and we'll be right back with you. Welcome back, everyone. So we're just going to continue the conversation about tomorrow night's game. Join with Ken. Question here from Martin Gardner here about the attendance. Obviously, it was a sellout, but a bit of segregation. How do you think the ticketing was handled by the club on in the week leading up to the game? Do you think it was handled well? Do you think there was in terms of segregation, or could they have done anything better, do you think, in hindsight?
See, the trouble you got there, we didn't have a lot of time turnaround, did we? So we didn't know, obviously, we were playing until last Monday. So everything's sort of a bit of a rush. But yeah, I think they got it right, definitely, with only giving Middlesbrough 2,000. I agree with that, because we only get 2,000 going up there. So why should we give them any more? But because of that fact, we probably could have given Middlesbrough a few more, but they weren't going to, because Middlesbrough didn't want to give us any more. So there was a couple of little gaps in the Middlesbrough end. That's why, because they never sold them tickets. And obviously the segregation as well, where Cov fans were a bit more behind the goal at that end. And then they had the tarpaulin up to separate them. So, so you're obviously going to get a couple of thousand, losing a couple of thousand seats there, simply because of the segregation and the concourse underneath the stadium. Obviously, when you go all the way around, there's roller shutter doors that they need to close, obviously, to separate the away end and the home fans underneath the concourse. So yeah, it's about right. I think they did all right under the circumstances, because it was a bit of a rush job. You know, it always is with the playoffs, because nobody knows who they're playing to the last minute. And we sold all our tickets. At the end of the day, I think they did it the right way. They introduced the point system, obviously, all the way around. Even the bare minimum, 200 points you needed to get a ticket minimum, and that stopped Middlesbrough fans going to online and buying tickets, or coming up to buy tickets, because if you're not a member and you haven't got the points, you can't get a ticket. And there was news of Middlesbrough trying to obviously buy more tickets, because they wanted more tickets, and the club got a wind of that, I believe, and that's why they it wasn't like a free for all, if you like. You had to have some sort of points on the board to get a ticket, which is right. Yeah, it's the right way to do it, I think.
Yeah, exactly, and I agree with that. Just want to move on to the sort of just looking at the pre-match stats ahead of tomorrow's game. So Middlesbrough are unbeaten in their last 13 home games against us. Obviously, our last win at the old Ayrton Park, not Riverside, was back in '93 in February. Since Middlesbrough moved to Riverside Stadium in 95-96, we are the only team to have played them more than 5 times without winning a single match in all competitions. So that doesn't exactly bode well ahead of tomorrow's game.
Well, we've broke records like that before, haven't we? So
yeah.
I remember in the FA Cup. I remember in the FA Cup when we never won at Villa Park and Moldovan went in and scored.
Yeah.
Didn't they? So records are there to be broken. So yeah.
I guess this is the one reason why Middlesbrough might feel like they're in the ascendancy ahead of tomorrow's game. Their home record, have scored in 15 of their home games in all competitions under Carrick, 37 goals in total. The last failing to find the net at the Riverside Stadium, a goalless draw against Huddersfield in October. So it's a stat which kind of means that we have to score. Obviously, we have to score to win, but Middlesbrough are pretty prolific at home. So is that a stat that worries you going into the game, or are you not that concerned?
Not at all. No, it's a one-off game. It's a unique game. It's winner takes it all. It's not like a league game where you can play for a draw or whatever. You're not going to go up there and play for a draw. You got to win. We know the stakes. The stakes are a place at Wembley in the richest game of all, the Championship playoffs. So the stakes are high. So the players will be pumped up for it, and I think they're going to go for it. Simple as that. It's just a one-off game. There's no second chance now. That's it. It's got to be decided on Wednesday night, and I stand by because I think there's going to be plenty of goals and plenty of drama up there. I definitely think we'll score more than one. So it's just how many Middlesbrough score. So we've got to keep it tight at the back, but I am very confident that we can go up there and get a result.
Yeah, I like your positivity, but there is encouragement. Good stat from our away from home is we are unbeaten in our last 9 away games. We've won 4 and drawn 5. We only conceded 4 goals, and we kept 5 clean sheets in that run. So that gives a little bit of reason to feel a bit more optimistic about tomorrow's game. So obviously we've already touched on the fact that we didn't register a single shot on target in the previous game, and hopefully that stat will improve ahead of tomorrow's game. But one good thing is Victor Gyökeres has scored more away goals than any other player in the Championship this season. So that is another reason why I feel like we can get a result, because Gyökeres is prolific. So that's sourced from Sky Sports. So not.
I also noticed. I heard today that Robin's the team have been practicing penalties as well. Hopefully, it won't come to that, but they have been doing it, and they're going to be they all know who's taking the penalties. There'll be no hands up who fancies it on the night situation. Apparently, Robbins has told them who's taking the penalties if it comes to it. So they all are well aware of who's going to take it, providing they're still on the pitch. That was done today, apparently, in training. So, they're all well prepared. So we're well prepared for any circumstance that arises on the night. So, that's good.
The press is on the internet. They've got a big expectant crowd. I think what we've got to try and do is just try and keep them quiet. Don't defend as we did, like they did to us, and hopefully we can pick up some gaps, because I felt what they did do well against us at CBS was they denied us space. We just never had any space, and we could never get behind them. I'm hoping that will change. Do you feel like it will change tomorrow?
Oh, definitely, because I just think the game will be completely different. They came to our place in a bid to stop us scoring, which they did. They did the job they came to do, and they were hoping to nick maybe a goal or so, but we did our job at the back as well. And Ben Wilson did his job as well by making a couple of good saves. So, they would be disappointed they never scored, even though we're disappointed we never scored, if you like. So it's as we are, isn't it? We're back to square one again, and it's just more at stake now because there's only one game left. It's all going to be decided on the night, and I think the onus is on them. They're at home. They've got to come and attack. Their crowd will want them to attack, and that will open up gaps for us. And if we play the way we normally play away from home, we're brilliant at counter-attacking football, and I think we can pick them off and hopefully take our chances when we get them. And I'm pretty confident we can do that. They are a good side, but so are we. So they'll be wary of us as well as we're wary of them. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I got some more comments from our audience. Glenn is confident that Heyman will be fit for tomorrow, which is encouraging, and hopefully that will.
That'd be good. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, he's a massive player for us. Cov 182004. Norton Cuffy was great on Sunday, but looked very tired in the last 15 minutes. I mean, is that a factor, Robbins, in terms of team selection, in terms of tiredness? Do you think?
Yeah, I think. We've got players on the bench that can come on. We have got players that can come on. So, yeah, he'll be looking. Be looking to use his subs, no doubt, at some stage during the game. And we have got players that can come on if players look tired or not quite on it, if you like. You've got to be on it. Every player's got to put a 9 out of 10 minimum performance, haven't they, on Wednesday? Every player's got to put a 9 out of 10 performance in. And if you're not up to that standard, then you've got players on the bench that can come on and replace you if need be. I'm just pretty confident. I'm buzzing for the game. I'm looking forward to the game. You're looking forward to making the trip as well, aren't you, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's my first trip to the North East, so I'm absolutely buzzing. I was kind of nervous, thinking I don't want us to be losing 2-0 or something like that. Thinking I've got to travel a long way, and realistically we may be losing the game, but we're going in a situation where we could win the game. So I'm looking forward to going. It'd be great coming up on the tavern with yourselves and Miles and everyone else. I absolutely love supporting Cov City. I love traveling with the fans, so I'm actually looking forward to that part of the trip. Hopefully the best will come later in the evening when we win. So yeah,
and hopefully there'll be singing on the coach on the way back.
Yeah, and you know what? I think what I like about the club is we always get behind our players. We always get behind the team. The atmosphere is always electric, and I'm sure that although we only bring 2,000 fans to Middlesbrough, I'm sure we will be very, very passionate. We will get right behind the players, and whether winning, losing, drawing, we'll be there, right behind the players. I think that's the great thing about this season. I think the players the fans have been brilliant, and the players responded to that. And hopefully the same tomorrow, because we as fans need to get right behind the team, because it's not going to be easy playing away at Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough's it looks quite a daunting kind of ground. It looks a bit of a ground that
it is very loud ground. Yeah,
very loud ground, quite intimidating. So we've got to rise to the occasion. But to be honest with you, we have. I mean, you look at the last game of the season. That was a pressure game, and we played really well. I guess the only thing I will say is Middlesbrough were in a position where they didn't have to win the game.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's really set out to be a cracker tomorrow. I'm just hoping that we do ourselves justice. I think that's the thing I want to see. I want to see us. I just think we need to play a bit more of a passing game to Gyökeres. I thought we were too direct at the CBS. We lost the ball too easily, and then we found ourselves in a bit of trouble. I didn't think Godden and Gyökeres worked that well in tandem. I don't know what your thoughts were on Godden and Gyökeres, but they're good individual strikers, but they don't necessarily work well as a partnership, do they? And I think that's sort of a comment that a lot of people have been saying this season, really.
Yeah, I can tell you Luton have scored, by the way. It's all square. Yes, I didn't take them long, did it, to pull it round. Yeah. I'm quite confident they'll beat Sunderland tonight. I think difficult with that partnership, isn't it? I know people say, well, they don't work well together, Godden and Big Vic. I think they do at times they have this season. But it just depends. I think the main key, I think it works well when you've got O'Hare in the team, and then Palmer, a creative sort of player that takes the attention off them two and creates space for everybody else. So perhaps it doesn't work so well when they're not in a team, because we haven't got that creativity, if you like, to get the ball to them. So yeah, I mean, I just personally think away from home, especially, we play better with one up front. But Robbins tends to play two up front when we play at home. He likes to do that, and it's difficult because Godden's a brilliant finisher, as we know. He's a lot better finisher than Vic is, isn't he? On a one-on-one situation, as we know, Vic misses quite a few one-on-ones. But Vic will score a goal out of nothing, won't he? When you don't expect him to score, he'll score the hard one and miss an easy one. So it is difficult, but they're two good players, and obviously Godden's had his issues with injury, so never quite been the same as he was. Obviously, when he first arrived at the club, when he was firing on all cylinders and stuff, it's been a bit of a stop-start season for him, hasn't it, with injuries and that. So that's the reason why I think Robbins will take him out and give him a rest tomorrow night and use him accordingly from the bench when we need to, and that will give them more issues, because they probably won't expect that. They'll expect us to probably name the same team, and they might surprise them and just name one up front and have the extra in midfield. So they'll have to accommodate us that way, won't they? So it'll be interesting. But I think that's personally the way I think it will go. I'll be very surprised if he does play Godden tomorrow night. Very surprised, because I just think he'll be better off coming off on the bench. I think Godden, as and when we need him later on in the game. Tyler
Walker, I mean, I think Robbins was not sort of sure we would be back for Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, he's another player that's, when he's called upon, he's done a job, hasn't he, for us? He's not everybody's cup of tea, but at the end of the day, he gives his all when he's playing, and it'd be nice to have him on the bench, because we might need him later on in extra time and penalties, a fresh pair of legs, So yeah, hopefully he is fit, but he won't let you down if he's called upon, and he offers a different scenario, doesn't he? A different type of player to Godden. So probably a little bit quicker and push you out wide a little bit, so it'd be interesting. Yeah, I think hopefully if he is fit, it will play a part. And I think you'll find he'll use most of the subs at some stage on Wednesday night. So just to freshen it up. But it all depends on how the game's going, if it's tight or whether we're winning or whether we're losing. If we're losing, they obviously have to make changes and just throw the kitchen sink at them. What we've got nothing to lose.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's a one-off game, and you never know, anything can happen in football.
Yeah. But we've got to get shots on target. Shots.
That'll help.
You don't shoot, you don't score, and you've got to, even he'll be drumming that into them as well, I'm sure. Well, look at Hamer in that first game, in the league game last Monday. He had a shot from a good shot, and it caught the keeper out, and he scored from it. So that's the sort of thing we've got to do when we go up there. We've got to get a few shots on target, put them under pressure, keep their crowd quiet for the first 25 minutes, and get a foothold in the game, and then hopefully get a goal or two.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, we've got Ben Wilson up our sleeve if we need a goal. It's a shot on the target.
Yes, that would be dramatic if he scored another one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Got some more comments from our audience. Glenn, we've gone to Bournemouth, Fulham, Sheffield United, Blackburn, West Brom, Luton, Preston, and got results in the last 2 seasons. So that's some cause of optimism. Question here from your average Cov fan. After the Notts County win on penalties by subbing on a keeper, would you consider having Keane Tyler on the bench to Simon Moore, as he's a big keeper and for a shootout as an option? What do you think of that one?
No, because I don't know much about Colin Taylor. I don't know how good he is. I mean, he might be a big keeper. Is he any good? He ain't got the experience as he is Ben Wilson now. So I'd stick with obviously Ben Wilson in that situation. Yeah. He's got experience. I mean, penalties are, you all favour the person who's taking the penalty to score, don't you? That's always, he's always a favourite to score. If the keeper saves it, it's a bonus. And sometimes it's a bit of guesswork, isn't it? Whether he puts it down the middle, or you dive left, or dive right, or just stay where you are and you might save it. So, no, in that situation, I'd stick with Ben Wilson. I think, I think he's well capable of saving us. He's done it many times, and just need a little bit of luck with penalties sometimes. Guess the right way, and you've got it.
A question here from Sky Blue Sam: if it goes to penalties, who's taking our 5 penalties?
Well,
Mark
I said
Robbins, who do you
earlier.
go for?
Yeah, I said earlier. I think Robbins has sorted that out already. There's no hands up on the pitch scenario. I believe. Well, personally, I think you're looking at probably Big Vic, obviously at Godden. If he's on the pitch, I'd say Hamer. I'd say Ben Sheaf, and then then it's maybe Jamie Allen. That would be my probably 5.
I'd go Ben Wilson as my 5th.
For a penalty, maybe. Yeah. Well, yeah, he might need to come to him if it goes all the way. If it goes past 5, it might have to come to him.
Yeah. But, I think Jamie Allen's an interesting one. I think in the day it just goes down to the player's frame of mind, and it's always. Middlesbrough's a ground where obviously both sides of the ground have got home fans. Obviously the away fan is sort of tucked in the corner, so yeah, it's always it
doesn't matter which end you're taking it. No, hopefully it'll be down our end where we are.
Yeah, if it gets that far, of course.
Yeah, if it gets that far, which it could do, but hopefully not. It'll be a long night if it is. It'll be a late night back home if it goes to penalties.
I'd rather that and we win the penalties than we lose 3 or 4-0.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I'm pretty confident we'll go up there and score. I really do. If he makes the changes, I believe he's going to make the changes, and I think Mick Davenport's got a comment here. Look, even everybody.
Yeah.
Casey Palmer's might be in the squad. I think he will. Yes, I think he will be in the squad, and I think he might be another one to take a penalty.
Yeah.
If he's on the pitch.
Yeah.
And certainly if you go to extra time where you get a few tired legs, it'll be ideal to bring on, wouldn't he, for extra time?
Yeah, I think it just gives the team a massive lift if he can, come on. Obviously he hasn't kicked a ball in anger for such a long time, but it's a bit of a risk because we just don't know. It's one thing recovering from injury, but it's match fitness. Is he match fit? Is he going to come on and make a difference? That's a judgment that Robbins will make. But the fact that he's back on the training field is encouraging. It's good to see. Personally speaking, I don't see him featuring tomorrow. I'll be surprised if he's on the bench.
It'll be a gamble. It's going to be a gamble because he's obviously not match fit. But if Robbins feels he might get 20 minutes out of him, then he may just take that gamble because he's got all season then to get fit again, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Because that's the last game of the season. So, hopefully it might not be the last game of the season because we might have a big, massive playoff final at Wembley. So, but it might be worth taking that gamble because there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for it, whoever wins it, isn't there?
Yeah. There's a trip to Wembley.
So it's a gamble, but I think it's a gamble worth taking with the money at stake.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask this question. Predictions for tomorrow's game. Gonna sort of imagine you're at the game right now. Mystic Meg. What's your prediction for tomorrow's game?
I think there'll be plenty of goals. I don't think it'll be 0-0. Put it that way. I think it'll be a completely different open game compared with Sunday's game. There will be chances at both ends, so we've got to be on our game. Every player's got to give a 9 out of 10 performance, if not 10 out of 10. They've got to be on it. And I'm going for us to win 2-1.
Okay.
I'm going to say a 2-1 win to us, and in normal time. So hopefully we won't have to go to extra time, and we'll hang on for a 2-1 win and catch them on the break a couple of times. The way we like playing away from home, which is super attacking, counter-attacking football. And I think you might see Big Vic, who's been pretty quiet the last couple of games, get on the score sheet tomorrow.
Yeah, he's due a goal and due a performance. Hopefully that'll be up tomorrow. So I think we can win, but I'm going to say extra time. We're going to win. I'm going to go 1-1.
Oh, extra time. You're going to say it's a late night then?
Yeah, I think it'll be a late night. I think once again I'll be sitting on the fence for 90 minutes. So those listeners will be delighted to hear I'll be sitting on the fence again. But obviously this is not just a league game. It's a knockout cup game. There has to be a winner. So of course I'm going to be positive. I'm going to back us to win. because there's no point in being negative and going for a Middlesbrough win. I think we can win the game. Of course, Middlesbrough is going to be a tough test, but I think we've proven in the 3 games we played Middlesbrough that we're more than a match for them. So there is cause to be optimistic.
Yeah.
Okay, statistically, it's not great at Middlesbrough, but I think things can change. They can't stay unbeaten against us forever. I know we're saying about Preston and all that, but this is different. This is a one-off game. We have to win the game. I think we can win it on extra time. So I'm going to go for a cheeky 2-1.
2-1 after extra time.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mick Davenport says, "Please stay on the fence, Mark." So he has technically.
I have
to 90 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I can't stay on the fence. I have to jump off the fence at some point, which will be a delight to many of our listeners who tune into our show.
Wayne says, "I'll want our new sponsor, Wayne." Evening, Wayne. He says 2-0 to us, so that's fantastic. And then Mick Davenport says 1-0 Cov. Big Vic. Martin Gardner reckons Super Ben to take all 5 pens. I'm not sure that's allowed, but
it'd be lovely. Maybe we win 5-0 when he takes all the 5 pens. That's what it means.
Have we got any more comments? What's we got here? We'll live and die by these towns. 2-1 either way in normal time, or 2-2 in normal time, and either side to win 3-2 in extra time. Hopefully we win it. Well, there's a few combinations there, but as long as we win at the end of the day, I don't care how we do it. As long as we're at Wembley come the end of the month, because we all want another game. We all want another trip to Wembley, don't we? That's what we're all after.
Yeah, well, I mean, other than the Charity Shield in 1987, we've got 100% record, haven't we, at Wembley?
We have, yeah. We've got 100% at the new Wembley. Yeah, definitely. And so we've only lost. Yeah, we've only lost in the Charity Shield. So there's no reason why. No, there's no reason why we can't do it. Mick Davenport says records are there to be broken. Absolutely, Mick. I just said that. Agreed with you 100%. Records are there to be broken. At the end of the day, it's a one-off game, and it's 11 against 11, and they're a good side. There's no doubt about that. I'm sure we'll show them the respect they want. But I just think we're a good side as well, on our day. And they'll see a completely different performance from us tomorrow night than they did in either of the 2 games that we've played them so far. I think we'll just go for it, and I think there'll be a lot more. The keeper will be a lot more busier, put it that way.
How's your nerves ahead of this game? Because me personally, I am absolutely bricking it. I'm nervous as hell.
I will be.
I was really, really nervous on Sunday. Probably I was nervous. My other time I was really nervous. I think was obviously the promotion season in League 2. And I also remember when we stayed up way back now, 97 against Spurs, when we stayed up in the Premier League.
Yeah, that was.
These are sort of moments that you always remember as a Cov fan. I just want us to see us do justice tomorrow. Just give us our best shot and try not to get overawed by the occasion. Are you hoping that the occasion won't get to the players? Are you confident the players will rise to the occasion?
Yeah, I'm hoping they will, because I think the occasion probably got to them a little bit on Sunday with the big crowd, and they didn't probably produce an attacking performance like we normally used to at home. But that's because Middlesbrough defended really well, But that's why I think, it'll be a completely different game on Wednesday, because they've got to come out a little bit more. They've got to attack. The onus is on them. They're at home, so the pressure's on them, if you like. And we thrive on that, I think, when the pressure's off us a little bit. And Robin's always saying that to the players, that go out and give it your best shot. And we're 1 game away from Wembley, and let's go and do it, And yeah, I'll be nervous tomorrow come the kick-off. But once that whistle goes, and you can tell in the first 10, 15 minutes the way we're going to be adapting to the game, I'm quite sure we'll put a good shift in. And as long as we put a good performance in, and sometimes you need a little bit of luck, things to go your way as well, don't you?
Yeah.
You need a decent referee report. We've got another Premier League referee apparently tomorrow. So it'd be interesting. Whether he lets things go or lets things play, it'd be interesting. Because certainly the referee on Sunday didn't let much go, did he? He didn't give a lot of chance for anybody to sort of play football. He pulled everybody up for everything. So hopefully we'll get a bit more free play, if you like, from the referee situation. And you do need a little bit of luck. Everybody needs luck in football. Things to go your way. And then hopefully it's going to be our night. And hopefully we can go up there and put a memorable performance in like we've done in the past. And I'm quite convinced we can do that tomorrow night. I'm sure Robbins will be drumming that into the players, and telling them it's the last game scenario. Winner takes it all, and let's just go for it, and let's get to Wembley and take it from there. So yes, hopefully the season will be extended further.
Well, we'll do. We'll hope that scenario. I think whatever happens, yes, it's been a great season. I think we've all enjoyed it, but you don't get these opportunities very often. There's not many times you get into the playoffs, and we've seen this season, Huddersfield Town being an example where they were in the playoff final last season and they struggled. So, when you get opportunities like this, you've got to try and take it. It's nice. It's nice to say. It's nice when we all say we give them players pats on the backs. Job well done this season, great achievement at the playoffs, and of course it's a great achievement. But now we're in the playoffs. We've got to do everything we can to get back to where we belong in the Premier League, because we've been outside the top flight for 22 years, and obviously it's well documented all the problems we've had in that period. And if we can just take these opportunities and get ourselves back up, let's win. Let's hopefully win tomorrow. Get to Wembley, play either Sunderland or Luton, and anything can happen. And I'm just hoping that we can just grasp this opportunity.
Yeah, and people say, "Oh, you're not quite ready to go up," and all this. That's nonsense, because when are you ready to go up? Nobody's ever ready to go, because nobody knows when they're going to go up. And when you get a chance to go up, you've got to take it with both hands. And the money we'll get by going up, we can afford to keep our better players and progress. You never know. You might do a Brighton and look out and stay up, or Forest if they're lucky enough to stay up, or Burnley, that's stayed up for a couple of years. Or you might be a yo-yo club like West Brom and Norwich, who keep going up and down. But there's always that chance when you do go up, you might just stay up, with the right recruitment. And I'm sure Robbins has got 2 different lists for recruitment: one for if we stay in the Championship, and one if we go up into the Premier League, where we'll need to change a lot of the players. So I just think you've got to grasp the opportunity when you get it, and then take it from there. And the money will certainly play a big difference to the club going forward, and keeping the best players, and hopefully progressing into the Premier League where we all want to be.
Yeah, and Robbins is the one constant, hasn't he? He's been manager now for 6 years, and obviously we all know what a great job he's doing, and he's already made it clear in public that he wants to take us back to where we belong in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So, and if the worst happens and we don't do it this season, tomorrow night, there's next season I'm sure we'll be back, because we've got. I feel we've got the right people in charge, and we've got the right people on the team. We've got an owner who's come in and cleared the debts, and okay, we don't own the ground, but the relationship between Doug King and Mike Ashley seems very positive, which is great for the club. Obviously, recently agreed a 5-year deal with the stadium, so lots of things going on off the field. This is going well. We just hope we can deliver tomorrow. I think we can do. I think we really can do. No doubt, we're going to have to ride a big storm at Middlesbrough. I'm sure there are going to be times in the game where Middlesbrough are going to be on top.
Yeah,
and we've got to concentrate. We've got to defend well. And when we not get many chances tomorrow, when we do, we've got to take it. It's simple as that. But we can do it. I honestly do. If we just it's really about keeping Hamer and Gyökeres fit. That for me is the key. Can't afford to lose them, because we're a little bit better, aren't we? That's only a slight worry.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and hopefully Hamer will be fit tomorrow anyway, and he'll play, and and we'll take it from there. But things are on the up. We know. You go back to October when we were bottom of the league, and all them problems we had at the start of the season, which are well publicised. With the pitch and everything. nobody in their wildest dreams thought we'd be in this situation now, did they? You know, we'd have been happy just to finish above, above the relegation zone, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So it's a bonus where we are now, and we've had a bit bad luck with injuries and stuff, and with O'Hare especially, that was a massive blow, and Casey Palmer as well, and Godden not being fit for the whole of the season. But every team has injury problems, and we just probably had more than we normally have, to be fair. But we just got to. It's what it is, and we just got to get on with it and take the chance when we get it. And we've got a great opportunity now to win one game away from Wembley and take it from there, and then be fantastic to get back down to Wembley and play in the Championship playoff final. That will give the club massive publicity, massive money, and a lot of funds. And then your 45 minutes, your 90 minutes, aren't you, away from the Premier League? Then that's when we talk really serious business. So let's do it tomorrow night and then take it from there. And I'm pretty confident we can do that.
Love this comment here from We'll Live and Die in These Towns. Jimmy Hill once said, "We'll fight till the game is won."
That's right.
As the Sky Blue song goes, fight till the game is won.
Yeah.
I think we'll be singing that pretty much most of the night. Okay, I think that rounds off tonight's show. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Ken, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
And I hope we can get the result. I hope we can get back to Wembley and win. I think we all certainly all hope for that. Thank you everyone for your comments tonight. Been really appreciative. We've got another show tomorrow night. Miles will be presenting live at the Riverside Stadium. So he'll be speaking with us fans ahead of the trip. So I think it's about half. What time is he on? Is it 7 o'clock? Is it 7:30?
Yeah, normally an hour before kickoff. Yeah, and the lead up to the game. And we had a few internet problems last Monday when we were there. I know the picture was freezing, so the internet around the Riverside stadium is not great. And we did have a few problems last Monday with you could hear us, but you couldn't actually see us because the picture was freezing a little bit. But hopefully it'll be a little bit better tomorrow night, and we'll be chatting to a few of the fans as they make their way into the ground.
Yeah, well that'll be good. So we'll endeavour to do our best to deliver a great show pre-match to get so that those watching at home can get a feel of the atmosphere at the Riverside. So so we've got a show, and then we'll be doing another show probably Friday or the weekend. We'll confirm.
I'll be back on Thursday evening, Mark. I'll be back.
Okay, Thursday evening.
The aftermath.
Yeah, hopefully we're talking about a win. What a great win it was. I think things like that.
Yeah.
So after that, and hopefully we'll be talking about a playoff final. But thanks everyone, and thank you everyone for listening tonight and all your comments. It's been much appreciated, and thank you for all your support, not just tonight but throughout the season, really, because it's been really, really appreciative. I've certainly myself and the team have really enjoyed the interaction we have with yourselves, and obviously all the other fans from other clubs and the guests we've had generally. It's been great. So thank you for that. And obviously this is not the last show of the season, we hope. So there'll be plenty more to come. But we'll speak to you tomorrow night. Play up Sky Blues, and speak soon.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. See, we'll fight to the game is won. Good night, everyone. Good night.
Good night.